In a universe flooded with the conventional, one group keeps the brewing spirit alive. The propaganda of Pauper.
What the hell is this? That's probably what you're all thinking. I thought the same thing. One of our good buddies, Guy Who Walks Alone on MTGO, sent me a list out of the blue that was Proliferate. And I was like, where's the infect? And so I thought about it for a bit, sleeved it up, and started having a lot of fun with it. This isn't it. This is very close to what he brought, and I just wanted to play it today because I love these kind of shows where we just throw something at a fan and see what sticks. It's all over the place, but no, Experiment 1 would not definitely considered not a fit in this. You'll see why in a bit, but we're running 24 lands. We really need them a lot because we're running all 4 of the Kenku Artificer to kind of end our late game, but instead of measly little 3/3 indestructible artifacts, ours get a lot bigger because of things like Proliferate. So yeah, Experiment 1, don't like it. The Servant of the Scale and the Iron Apprentice are serving double duty much better in the 1-drop spot for that. What's really cool about this, as Guy Who Walks Alone pointed out, is the combination of these two both on the board. If they kill one, it's just like they didn't kill anything. It just jumps over to the other side, and you don't have to do anything about it. It just works. Because of that, I'm running Pit-Skulk. Actually, let me rewind a bit here. So this is Proliferate. It's all about +1/1 counters. The first thing I thought was, this card isn't that good. It's really good in this list. We have two Unexpected Fangs, an old-timey card coming back, Festercreep, which similar to Unexpected Fangs on a Crypt Rat or giving flying to a Clark Kent Shaman. This guy usually can keep living if you're just doing it for 1 damage, because it can get up to, I had him up to like an 8/8 the other night. That's shared on our social media page under the community tab of YouTube. So yeah, it's been a long time since we've seen Festercreep and company. 4 Deadly Disputes, just because. Really could go with Village Rites here to lower the curve even further, because we don't really want to pick on our artifacts much. So it's always going to be going after a creature. And the color, you think like, oh, well, you need that extra color. And you do sometimes. But black's our least color, and so if we're casting this, in theory, so I actually might lean on going with Village Rites with this, but I didn't want to change up too much as we move forward, because it's been a lot of fun. This is one of those, oh, I'm kind of down in the dumps with Magic. I'm just, I'll play this, and you get all reinvigorated and stuff. You can hear it in my voice. We got 4 Thrummingbirds. These come on board early and often, and 4 Contentious Plan. Only playing 2 Steady Progress. This can flip. I was seriously considering getting rid of these for the 1/1 artifact. You can sack and put a +1/1 counter on something. It's kind of a floater, but I wanted to really kind of go all in with Proliferate. Because of that, we're able to run things like Saprazzan Skerry and Hickory Woodlot, and these get up to like 7 or 8 counters in a lot of games, and you just keep piling them on because Proliferate, again, targets these. We're running Cave of Temptation for the same reason. If we need to put that last bit of counter on something and then boom, punch through. That's the one. Nitmer Scrappling was in my list for a while. I actually had it in favor of Scale until I heard the logic of the kind of the double attack and the early removal often. So anyway, we are running 24 lands. We're figuring we're pitching these the majority of the time, and one of these is usually attacking, so that's why the high land count. I was getting really marooned with like, okay, I want to be aggro now, but I can't really do any spells. And so that's why we went that way. Servant of the Scale, Pit-Skulk, and Iron Apprentice. This is MVP closer, as is this. Pit-Skulk, obviously, we're only running 3 because you want to hit and get that damage in so they can have the counter, and then you just start chopping the person down. All right, so we got 4 Hydroblast, 4 Life Goes On. I think this is a better call than Weather the Storm in a list like this. A lot of stuff dying and keeping the curve nice and low. 3 Relics, 1 Festercreep, so we'll have a total of 2 Tranquilities just because, and 1 Serrated Arrows. This was in the main for a while, and again with Proliferate, you just keep able to kill stuff. But it's pretty expensive in this metagame, but I probably would bring it in against fairies. So without further ado, I'm just going to create a shot up here, and we'll see how this does. Like I said, I've been having a whole lot of fun with this list. Been playing the last few nights, and yeah, it's just sometimes these guys get up to like, you know, 6-6, 8-8 real quick, and you know, and then you start. And what's cool about Smell Fear is that you proliferate first. And so if you have a 2-2, they have a 2-2, you proliferate, you got a 3-3, they have a 2-2, and then it fights, and then you come in for the damage. So it's pretty cool. I like that quote too. It's fun when they run a little. All right, let's minimize the risk. We have 2 artifact lands. It's slow, but we'll keep it. And see where we can go here. Looks like some sort of affinity list. Now I've considered everything from Mold Folk to Cloudfin Raptors, Gitaxian Infiltrators, Experiment 1, all these things, they were all tried, and only a few lasted. I think we could top deck. I'll go with the bridge here. I have quite a bit of blue here. Yeah, Dreamer Stingo, well said. Yeah, Pauper's come a long way. There used to be a lot of lists that had a total access of 4 serrated arrows, like 2 in the main, 2 in the side, and crazy times indeed. All right, we'll bump our little dude out here, get our mana right. These are kind of hands that aren't very impressive because, you know, your mana comes out as slow as Affinities does. But once we're online, we should be all right, especially if we draw any basic here. Yeah, and Contentious Plan just for the lower mana cost is kind of what I'm about on that one. We don't really want to be killing our stuff until we have extra targets about, so hopefully we can get that Artificer on board and we'll start smashing with things in the air. We got a lot of blue. Let's favor this angle here. Well, actually, let me bring out the Thrummingbird. I'll just do this now. It'll probably not survive the turn, which is fine. Bring out the Tanglepool Bridge. Very, very slow hand. Probably the slowest I've ever had. I usually have something that doesn't come into play tap, or if it's one of the tap lands with the proliferate beads and stuff, and you can start, even though you've only got 1 or 2 mana out, it starts feeling like 4 or 5. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, that sorcery speed is very suspect. I don't think we're going to be fast enough to pull this first game off. I'm just going to write down Affinity. My son just built this on our kitchen tabletop, and we're going to play after today when I'm uploading this show. I'll be playing, I think, Black Sack against, you know, he's got the whatever won last week or something build, and got his nod of approval. So hey, whatever gets him in a Pauper, I'm happy about. So yeah, this kind of deck only possible when people send in cool ideas and such for you know, show ideas and stuff. A lot of them I'll shrug at and whatever, but they don't have to be crazy to be accepted. It's just a good time. And like I said, this I don't think I would have. I think I was very narrow-minded in my proliferate ideals, where I was just like, it has to be infect. You know, it's always been that way with me, and so I kind of had tunnel vision. So I was pretty grateful to have a list kind of wake me out of my slumber there. Oh, okay, hold on, Cesbasar, cool name. Hopefully I got it right. Just pauperganda@gmail.com. Like I said, please don't be offended if something doesn't work or doesn't make the cut or whatnot, but it's all good times. All right, I'm going to do this first, and we'll bring out this dude because if our guy lives, then this will be our land will be a 4/4 next turn, and that'll be pretty cool. Oh, we're going to get rebuked. That'll really throw our timing off. Great spell in that list. Thank you, Nim Chimpskey. Oh, boy, that's a time walk and a half, isn't it? Say no to that. Well, our mana's right. I could say that. Jeez. Let's do what the deck does. And when Proliferate happens, it's a bit sneaky. You can easily click through it. So it'll say Proliferate. You say always yield, and then you have whatever you click on, it has a counter, and that's it. So we could trade with this, and this will be a 3/3 next turn. I don't think we're going to be winning any races that way. It might be better to dispute it after a block here. But I don't think we're going to we came out too slow, and that Metallic Rebuke really stifled us. But we could probably top deck another Kenku. We do run 4 of them. I had 3 for the longest time, and I'm like, this is kind of the cornerstone of the deck. Why am I not running all 4? Make our mana count a little bit more there too. So yeah, don't be taking this to a league, but this is a fun deck. So I was like, you know what? That's how we roll. Good times. It's always fun too when you play something this roguey and then it ends up winning against like meta heavy decks. It's like, haha. And make no mistake, this thing can come out quick. We sure didn't see it there though. But hopefully over the course of 5 games we will. Yeah. Oh, Ahab 238. Yeah, we've got a link that you can just download it or look at it. Thank you for that, Shiraz. Bam. And it's all set. Do I dispute here or take 6? I think I take 6. But please try it as is before tinkering, because if you're like me, you'll be like, oh, that works that way, or oh, that's some neat, interesting synergy. And I surprised Guy Who Walks Alone with, well, things like the Pit-Skulk and the Deadly Dispute, a bit of the lands like Cave of Temptation, or just a few like things where, my goodness, this is getting maddening. Well, we can at least kill that, right? Should we Contentious Plan first? Let me play the bridge. We're kind of out of ideas once this hits, right? So I can go, let me go green. I guess we'll fight here. This creature. Now remember, Proliferate will happen first. This is so unimpressive. Usually we've got like lands that can be proliferated and all these other things, but like I said, we've had a pretty clunk draw here. Uh-oh. Is he zapping it? Oh, or is this another rebuke? Oh, okay. I think we still get to proliferate, though, so that's cool. Proliferate. I said this one. Done. Cool. We can Contentious Plan and then just block. It's kind of lame, though. Because, we don't really have any counters to put on that. So I'm going to do this now. Proliferate here. We really need another, like a Skarrgan Pit-Skulk and such. It's just pretty underwhelming right now. 1 Galvanic Blast and we're just dead here. So now we at least have a creature next turn. Sack it, and then we've got a big old flyer that can withstand stuff. But right now our little apprentice is very naked. Oh, yeah. Italy has a huge Pauper scene. I know they do the Paupergeddon. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. Worst case scenario here for the first turn outing. Real slow mana and just the wrong order of things showing up. I am not familiar with that region at all. I fell for the same thing Nim Chimpskey did. I'm going to be a bum for the next month. We're able to work from home completely. Which is great for the lack of driving and stuff, but I will admit there is a certain almost a mental health that comes to getting up, having that ritual, going to work at least once in a while. You can get into pajama editing a little too quickly, and then you blink and it's evening time and you haven't changed your clothes and you're close to the refrigerator and all these other things. So all right, I've seen enough. Let's give them that first game before we show up much else of our tech, if you can call it that. Hopefully they stick around and we can do something about it. Alrighty. Well, we're going to want to have some Hydroblasts. I'm going to get rid of 2 of these and our Festercreep and probably a Fangs. Bring in all of our Hydroblasts because we know how heavily they lean on that stuff. And I'm just going to go like that. I could do the whole fight with, the blood thing, but we're not really an artifact list. I'm just going to roll like this and Hope for the best. Serrated Arrows is actually pretty valid. We could keep the Mer Enforcer. You know what? That might be pretty good in this list here. Let me get rid of... yeah. I'll get rid of a Fangs here. It's because we can, instead of killing the Mer Enforcer, we can just keep it as a 1-1. Because Serrated Arrows never goes away if the list performs correctly. Should be a lot of fun. Yeah, I almost played Mold Folk, and there are a lot of almost builds. Yes. All right, let's draw something good. We got the Skerry. We've got no green. Don't really need it too much so here. I guess we'll keep this. We don't have any let's keep. And I'll bring out the Skerry first. Kenku Artificer. Oh, Dreamer Single. Yeah, I've got a creatureless infect list that runs off that premise. And it's like I said, I've always been a little biased when it comes to how to build proliferate decks, because I've always been, you know, I think the only way it used Virulent Wound and Pistis Strike is the only actual ways to give counters, and then everything else is proliferate. Well, Sabassar, that's what Magic Online's great for, right? Hopefully you got a sweet account for that. Alrighty, this is looking better and better. We're out of the range of you-know-what. So let's do 2 spells here. I'll tap this for green. We'll play the Servant. And I'm doing this now because I want to get away from Metallic Rebuke. We'll turn this on. Of course, we'll probably have to use it for the Pit-Skulk, but gosh dang it. All right. Down that goes. Oh, well. Well, you at least got a Pit-Skulk next turn with the Hydroblast behind it. Just need our Proliferate to show up. Or Black Mana Source. There's a fairy that's blue, and it can turn a land in any color. I think it was from Origins, or I forget. Yeah, man, this is just like, they're just drawing absolutely like best case scenarios against us. And I was thinking of messing around with that, like a blue-based fairy and such, but all right, we're going to slow roll this. No, not that Go Pack Informant. It was it would change colors. It was pretty cool. Really feel the power difference here, I'm not going to lie. Just that being able to pick things apart. If our stuff's left alone for like 1 or 2 turns, get out of control pretty quickly. I think I'm just going to play this Pit-Skulk out and dispute it at this stage of the game. We're really kind of hurting for synergy. Heavy bottom, that's pretty cool. I like the lore there. All right, we'll play a Skerry. We're just blocking here and then drawing cards with hopefully with Deadly Dispute. We don't get rebuked again. I hate throwing a Pit-Skulk down, but I'm going to do it. I think everybody's got a bit of heavy bottom in them sometimes. Boy, my son's got that bad. He's just planning all these big vacation plans and stuff, and he's just like, why don't we just stay here? It's just like, oh my god, get out and see the world. He just has zero wanderlust. It's like, wherever I am, that's good. All right, what's he doing here? Let us draw stuff. Come on now. We getting rebuked again. What a cruel person. Okay, cool. What's cool about this? Oh, yeah. We're going to have enough for... I hope I just draw a basic here. We can play that Kenku. Got Hydroblast Black. Bleh, backup. Our Contentious Plan might get rebuked. But we can at least pay for Kenku. Then all the silly spells that aren't counterworthy start making a big difference in gaining us like 2 extra or 4 extra lands a turn with each Proliferate. Okay, and we're going to need them, because this is getting out of hand quickly. All right, we got a wide open battlefield here. This feels pretty good. Want to do this first, though. Let's rock here and here for this. I've only got one black source, so I'm obviously going to target the tide pool here. Okay. And a Contentious Plan. I'm going to use this here and here. Contentious Plan will proliferate here, here, and here. See, done. Cool. Make a Contentious Plan again. Let me bring out the bird. And this, we'll just sit back. And hopefully we have enough to block with here. Blood Fountain's already active, but see how this gets pretty tricky pretty fast. So these will never going to go away as long as we keep our proliferate count going up. Just want to make sure you tap gently. Alrighty. The option to attack. We don't really need the Kenku there. We did see a Chainer's Edict though. I'm gonna chance it. I don't mind losing a Thrummingbird. Still have access to Hydroblast if he's got any sort of, Galvanic Blast the Kenku. Which feels like winning magic on our end if that goes down, but Kenku is such a neat design card with those, it just really throws a wrench in the wheels. I don't think it's OP. It's very close. Feels like one of those little, just those cute little combos that they just get there. They work. All right, Angler down. A little harder to bring back than a Mer Enforcer. That'll help. 20 to 20, feeling pretty good. Going up against the metagame for sure, which is nice. Design around it, and then a lot of times I end up facing rogue, and you're like, oh no, this is not what I wanted to see. I shouldn't have blocked. All right. Cool. Servants in the house. Servant in the house. Servant in the house. Get a servant in the house. Yeah, let's Contentious Plan here. Whoosh. We will proliferate here, 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 and here. We are done. Whoa. Pretty epic. Well, we can turn that into a 6/6 pretty quick. I don't want to be blocking that thing. I don't want to wait around for too long here. We've got Edict food. And for Galvanic Blasts, we'll probably hold back the blast here. So we're head on the race, so let's see if we can do this. Not really expecting an Edict package from an affinity list. Makes sense, but boy, how good would another Kenku be here? We could have one on defense, one on air power, which is another reason I ran all 4. Most lists I like Kenku at about 3 spot. This one makes the exception. 3, 4, 5, 6. One away from flashing back that Edict, which will make our bridge very strong indeed. Keep my hand off the yield button here because I do have a spell in hand. All right, we're out of rebuke range here. Oh, this feels really good now. Good times. Problem is they're going to be able to get back pretty much everything, but it will cost them a turn of tempo. So I'm cool with that. Let me rock like this. We will fight. This will fight. This, it'll probably get eaten with a rebuke or whatever that is, but we'll still get all our stuff. Oh, not so bad. He doesn't gain 7 life. That's pretty cool. We will proliferate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Whoosh. Come on in for 9. Crunch. And this is after, our stuff getting picked apart and having a really bad start. I'll tell you what, when Guy Who Walks Alone sent me the initial list, which I'll show you guys at the end of the show, it's pretty different. But again, I would never have come up with this. But what really got me was the whole these getting counters, because a 3/3 artifact land's pretty good. Indestructible, flying, lightning bolt damage, delver damage, whatever you want to call it. But man, when it starts getting upwards of Shivan Dragon range, good times. This is fine because the whole turn to reset and we've got a flyer. So I don't believe outside of like a double edict here. I think we're going to go to a game 3. Could be wrong. He's digging. They might have a double edict. Or maybe a blast edict, which we can pay for a few rebukes. Those skerries are getting pretty scary. That's not a worry for me. Unless they have 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, they've got another. I have to counter this. They might have a blast, but they won't be able to pay for the edict. It's close regardless. Okay. 2, 4, 6. We're going to a game 3. These edicts are scaring the crap out of me. Remember, if the servant dies, all those counters go up to the bridge. So it's kind of like you're just moving points around. But edicts are a big problem because of that, though. Now, here comes the flaw in my plan. There is a +1/1 dude from I think it's a 1/3 for 2 mana, and it gives everything with a +1/1 counter trample. That's legit in this scenario because he can just block forever. So all of a sudden, now we're in trouble. Heyo, Inquisitor Dadabacco. I'm so sorry if I know I mispronounced that. Man, thank you for the sub. I very much appreciate that. Very cool. Again, if you'd like to support the show, we've got a little thing on buymeacoffee.com if you search for our username. I didn't go the Patreon route. I just figured keep it casual. Oh no, Affinity's doing what it does. Look at this. Come roaring back. I was getting sure we were going to a game 3, and now this one blocker's got our number. Please attack. Servant of the Scale. We need to draw a spell here. Come on. That's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Could have definitely drawn worse. All right, we'll choose this. Yeah. And if this dies, then we'll have the goods, right? Because of that, do I just attack here? Nah, something will go down. No sense in attacking there. If the servant dies, we might have the win. I'm going to be taking a lot of damage because with Edict in check, I don't want to really be sacrificed. Ooh, another one. All right. Well, this makes things pretty easy. Actually, maybe I do the scale now in case he doesn't attack. Let's do that. So now we have 2 6/6 flyers. What's better than a 3/3 flyer? A 6/6. 2 of them at that. It's a fascinating little list. Gaining some life. That's scary. God. Good practice for later when I play my son on the tabletop. That deck just seems to have everything. Probably because it does. Well, any Proliferate wins here. Then we'll be hitting for 14. They do have access to a star, maybe some more Reckner's bargain logic. We shall see. Come on, something good. That's pretty good. Yeah, that should be enough. We'll put them on this guy here. We'll go like this. Boop, boop. One more. All right. And here's for all the marbles. Tripping. Oh, really expected black there to stay alive. All right, going to game 3. And with that edicts are up. Didn't see that really coming. I don't think Relic's really going to be where I want to be against this matchup. Life Goes On might be a neat way to really stay in it, but I think that's losing magic. One thing I'm considering here is maybe losing one dispute for another steady, just so we can really keep our... When we get to that stage where we kind of we've got 1 or 2 proliferate options, it's really kind of the best top deck, right? Just to draw a card and do stuff. Yeah, Smell Fear is great unless they have the gazillion sack this and draw 2 cards package that I love to run in black sack myself. So yeah, that was a nice Cave of Temptation for the win. It's neat when you can top deck a land and it wins you the game, whether it can be an attacker in the case of this with Kenku, or a buff effect. Unexpected Fangs might be pretty good here. By might, I mean it is. I think I'll rock like that, and I'm going to get rid of my Arrows plan. I don't want to see that card. Games are going to go long. We'll have I just don't want to go there. Okay, this is what happens when you put 24 lands in a 60-card list. Yeah, I guess so. Oof, boy, this is ugly, isn't it? I'll keep. I guess we'll get rid of a Woodlot. What do we lean on first here? Rather just get a critter out, right? Okay, all our mana is going to be on deck here. Whoosh. At least you know what to send back. Yeah, that's true. Send it all back. And again, please don't take offense if you send in lists and you don't hear from us for a while. There's sometimes I'll go 3-4 days without being able to check in. It's usually the beginning of the week, and then as the show approaches Thursday, Friday, I'll catch up on emails and stuff. So my son's like, you should stop replying because, more and more people you get, people are gonna start getting offended or whatever. I'm just like, gosh, that'd be a nice problem to have. I think I'll worry about that later. All right, we'll bring out this Proliferate engine online. I really hate bringing up, man, our little iron worker hasn't really shown up. So nice when you can get the 1-2 punch of both of them on board at once, and then you just some silly card like Smell Fear or Contentious Plan, and all of a sudden you're really representing some serious clock damage and slipperiness. That's a good magic word, because like I said, you kill one, okay, well, the other one gets it. We saw what happens. Like Chainer's Edict. Okay, now I got a 6/6. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Our deck is not liking us today. Unexpected Fangs. Not doing too much work here. We'll bluff like we've got a deadly dispute of our own. We do not. New creature ability, clock damage. Yeah, baby. Get some Blessing of the Leeches on it. Here comes 4. Crunch. Might feign a block here and then unblock so that they think we're on a deadly dispute. That was my phone falling out of my pocket. Ugh. I haven't had a case on this thing in ages. Definitely make sure it's on mute too. That have been a rude awakening. All right, what's going on? They're waiting to rebuke stuff. Dang it. All right, that's a pretty good draw. Not going to lie. Let's do this. I guess we just play the Ironworker out here. Really waiting on this to be on a indestructible land. Hopefully higher than a 3/3. Arcane Shaman would really suck right about now. What do y'all think about my village rights argument over Deadly Dispute in a list like this? Because don't want to be blowing up my lands. One less. Very few lists where I think that's the better card, but I'm leaning like 51% on lower the curve even more. Hey, yada yada yudi. I think that's how I'm going to say it. Good to have you with us. Thanks for chiming in. My little Twitch stats are all like grayed out here. I don't know what's going on, but I can see the chat just fine. I have to probably just refresh that. Yuck. Come on, be patient. Be patient. Yada yada yudi. Can anyone in the chat yodel? I guess everybody could say they can, right? I can't really prove it in chat. There should be a yodeling font. Just like you can tell when somebody's like yelling. Oh man, okay. This is interesting. Huh. Let me do Woodlot. Yeah, let me do this. I can get away from Rebuke here, which I hope they're just sitting on. All right. Boink. We have this. Bit of a misplay there. I shouldn't have used all the green there because it would have been nice to have a fight go down here. Dang it. Yeah, that was a big misplay. I could have at least held this back and then I could have fought that right now. Oh well. That's attack. Feels like we can pull this off unless, you know, Sweeper shows up. But even then, all those counters are going to go up. And when we got a Fangs, we just got to get access to a black mana. I mean, we have it, so we'll Fangs at the end of turn here. Or we could just smell Fear right now. I really don't want to walk into a Rebuke. I'm positive that's what they were sitting on. So we'll just slow roll it here. Maybe not the biggest punt. I forgot the bridge axes mana, so. Okay. If that Fangs lands on that and we start getting our Proliferate going, this is going to get ugly quick. It's a whole lot of damage and life gain on the other end of it, so just very key. Not too worried about edicts here. And they probably don't want to kill stuff because maybe we don't have Proliferate and they don't want that thing to get much bigger. Unexpected Fangs is so good in this matchup. Yeah, that's not too big of a problem here. Well, yeah, it is. If they've got an edict, this is really going to suck. See how we get a huge thing out of it, but then we might just be dead. There it goes. Boink. Yeah, that's pretty messy. We'll put this here. Okay. Don't have an edict. No edict. Oh gosh, this is the Oh, we were right there. Oh, well. Nicely played. Went from 4 creatures to none. Crunch. I'm really glad I didn't... I mean, looking back, probably should have smelled fear there, but I'm pretty sure that it would have got rebuked, so we would just be looking at a 2-card hand here, but we wouldn't have taken 4 on the upside. Looks like we're going to L country, but it was close. We were right there against one of the better decks. So we'll just jump right on in here and play again, because outside of a kind of a clunky draw, that first game, I think deck did pretty well. See the flexibility options in our land routes here. Let's see, we've got... Oh, I was going to count our land cycles, but yeah, I want to play first. I ain't playing no 0. 24 lands, and we got 1. But we do have a contentious plan. I'm just going to keep it. Screw the odds. Screw MTGO, giving us bad hands when we run 24 lands. Well, contentious plan. Our way out of this problem. Ha! And if we top deck as a single source, we can drop that Iron Apprentice. That'll be good times. 24 lands. We should draw one. Boop. There we go. Well. Yeah, things don't change. We'll do this. Bloop. Proliferate. Done. And we'll play this out. And we'll go like this. Come on, artifact land. Show up. This is an atrocious hand unless we either cross some more proliferate or, like, you know, the black-green indestructible land would be like the ultimate here. That's not what we want to see. Can't even turn our Iron Apprentice into an upgrade. Oh, you're right, Dreamer Stingo. That was a punt. The reason, because I was being a dummy. Ugly, ugly, ugly start. All the artificers in the world and no lands to point them at. They've got all kinds of time to unpack their gear, set up a campfire, wait for our deck to become relevant. Good call, Dreamer Stingo. Something relevant, please. That's all right. Ugh. This does not feel good, does it? Yeah, I can't really do anything here. Let's keep attacking. Bloop. Yeah, Yargi, this is from an idea from a guy who walks alone. Sent me this midweek, and I tweaked it about 30% and thought I'd play it today because it's just a lot of fun. It's not a tournament serious deck, but you can see last game we almost played even with Affinity. It would have been nice to draw as good as our opponent did, but that's what makes Affinity so great, because it's been figured out. This might be a few cards off of optimal for a Proliferate style, but I do think we're going to need a little bit more attention to black mana, though. We do have options here. I can smell fear that, not do much else. I wish I could activate Deadly in response to it, you know. Do we just wait here? Yeah, it's not... We're really drawing dead here. I had the mana just about perfect, and then I added, I think, one more Dispute, one more Fangs, and I'm starting to feel that a little bit more. And I think I lost one Cave, which usually when you've got your double mana with the Skerry that keeps going because of Proliferate, you can pay that extra for things, and it's not that, oh my goodness, this is getting ugly. At least we're not taking horrendous damage, but opponent's like, what the hell is this guy on? Another reason we're running 24 lands, because, you know, at this stage, if we do draw a colored source, I'm going to need it for both the creature and the mana. This is getting ugly. If Smell Fear drew a card, I would pitch the Apprentice. So it sits now. If he messes with it, we can dispute it. All right. There's a good fighting target if we can get up that way. What do we have here? What's he blasting? Us. Okay. Ooh, they're going all in, aren't they? Alrighty, and we take 5 more. Alright, so we'll change the plans here. We'll Fangs here because it'll survive. It'll gain us life. So we at least have a little bit of an option here. 1 and this. Fangs here. Boop. That way when this happens, Proliferate happens first. We'll be able to at least do that. If we can get some green mana, that'd be nice. Okay, that's a really good top deck, but it's a slow deck. top deck, slow deck. One. Actually, let's do... yeah, I guess we could just do it this way. So we'll fight. I'm more afraid of this. So this will deal damage here. I think this will happen twice. We'll Proliferate here and here. Is it done? We can't block that anyway. So we'll attack. Gain 3 more life. And I'm sure that Iron Apprentice is dead meat. Good news is we've got Kenku behind it, but our life gain package is going bye-bye. Kept us in that one, though. That was nice to be able to do a little double damage. Yep. Bye-bye. Wish we had our mana land out. Darn it. A lot of direct damage here. We're in the single digits again, and our life gain option's a bit shut off. But we do have the bridge showing up, which will be good times. Let's do this to here. Do we just fight it now? I think we do. Or can we? We can't. Well, yeah, we can. We're not going to be attacking this turn. We could. I don't want to. So let's fight. Yeah, we go green on that. Or we could just blast that back. I'd rather dispute the Kenku here. I'll just dispute the Kenku. Or, hold on a minute here. If I attack now, dispute Kenku, no. To the bridge. This deck is super neat. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like I said, if you're ever in that funk where you're just like, I don't know what to play, just sleeve this up. And it'll put a smile on your face. A lot of options here. So we could see here that dispute, we could play now, get out of Pit-Skulk if we attacked. I think that's a next turn. Nichols in the chat, so I'm reading backwards. Yeah, sorry if you guys are experiencing some lag. I'm hardwired in, but I know about, 2 or 3 weeks ago we had a really bad laggy stream too, so Twitch is in. Maybe there's some big championship going on. Hopefully everything's coming through all right. That's Checkaroonie. Yep, feeling good. Everything's at its spot. We will sit back and do nothing. Don't really have to worry about edict effects here, so I'm going to sit back and wait for that deadly dispute to become relevant. Draw engine online. Cool. Bridge is hard to get around. All right, we'll dispute here. Paying black in this. We'll sacrifice this. Draw 2 cards. And fix our mana. We taking a helix? Yep. Boink. Wow. Jeez. Well, we're almost dead. That's when we wish we were playing Infect, right? Well, that's pretty cool. Oh, now here's a problem. I need this to have a counter, but I can't do it without this. Ugh. Frustration. Well, we'll pull this for here. Smell fear. Me. You. Proliferate here and here. Done. We're probably just dead to any sort of removal here. I guess we'll play out a birdie. I wish this had a counter on it already. That'd be really nice, but yeah, we're just waiting around to die here. This kind of blows. EOT steady progress. Interesting, but it's not going to win us any games. Obviously, we're going to bring in a lot of Hydroblast game 2. Ah, Nickels. Hopefully it's nothing worse than a cold. Last couple of people I've known that have had it it doesn't even really qualify as more than the sniffles. At least I know 3 people in the last like 2 or 3 months that have gotten it. Hopefully it's nice and mild for you. My brother got it about 1.5 years back, and boy, it really put him on his butt. And that was when it was definitely starting to become more just like a cold anyway. News doesn't help much, at least out here in the States. Like, be afraid. Oh, triple demic. Don't leave your house. Stop living. All right. Make no mistake. I don't think we're winning this one, guys, but we're going to do our best to do stuff. I just take a bolt to the face here. Yep. L. I'm glad we're seeing like really good meta decks, though. Sometimes. Oh, all right. Well, that doesn't really count, does it? Let's see here. What do I have queued up? I'm going to go get some more coffee. I'll be right back, guys.
Action, please. Action awesome, please.
Just do anything?
No, it's sorry, cut. Yeah, rolling. 102, take 2.
Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson.
102, take 3. Action, please.
Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson.
This weekend only, don't miss the 14th annual Pauper County Fair, featuring Mud Buttons' famous chili cook-off, avant-garde justices' free legal advice, Moments Peace meditation seminar, and much more. Then rock the night away with the hottest bands, including Ancient Grunge, Tamir Battle Ragers, The Shredding Winds, Martyrs of Ash, The Distant Melodies, Architects of Will, The Blasted Herbs, and many more. Arrive before noon and get a free Merit Lager at the Guild Gate. Tickets on sale now. Kobolds and kids under 10 are free. The 14th annual Pauper County Fair.
All proceeds to benefit the Spellstutter Speech Centers.
And we're back. All right, let's see. Got a much better start hand here. I love that drunken Orson Welles. Guy is just gone. Frozen peas. I'm not sure if I've seen that, Dreamer Stango. Can you send us a link on propaganda@gmail.com? I might have seen it, but it's been a while. All right. Green's going to show up. I know we have black here, but I'm going to lean on the bridge here over the other. And we'll just do this. Really not liking these, nowhere to put these things, these counters. This is both games, and almost never run into this issue. I just opened that land and those little player rewards packs. Really cool. And would play a game of Orson Welles. Yeah, we had a somewhat drunken stream one time when a little fight came to visit, and we stayed up so late the night before, and we had way too much in us still, and not the best quality. It was back before we were really truly HD. I think some of the old fans of Propaganda will remember that that debaucherous show. I didn't know if it was a skit or a dad joke. Either way, good times. Ooh, okay, well, I'm just going to sit back and wait for an opening here. It feels like we're walking right into a counter spell. I'll proliferate to try to make something out of nothing here. EOT just to do it. Definitely the worst spell on the list, Steady Progress. All right, we'll try this. Hopefully we get some interaction from our... I don't care if this goes or not. I'm just after the draw card here. Really like them to counter this or to, you know, burn this in response or whatever. So done. Draw card. Okay. Hardy Marlovey. Hey, thanks for joining us and thanks for chatting. Well, we have our dude online here. I still kind of want to wait for an opening. This just feels like we're walking into the bank without a note or a gun. Meaning trying to rob it without any sort of a right to do so. Guess we can keep that alive. I do not want to be putting a fangs on that. That's like kind of a last-ditch effort. All right. Fine, it's dead. I just want to feign like we got nothing. And we almost do, but that Kenku's really got to hit. Or we just draw into another one. And then one gets countered, and then we drop the other one. Of course, they have double counter mana now, so. Am I going to wait again? There's no real damage on board here. And they're just... This really feels like a counter burn sort of deck. Yeah, a full list is available. One of our mods, awesome Saprazzan, or the very cool Nim Chimpskey, probably shove that up and you can have a list of it, download it right there, and have at you. Okay, now we have something to fight. Looks like they've got counter. I really want to draw another Kenku or something that's counterworthy. And that kind of is. I mean, we've got so many lands right now. Let's, I guess we just do this, huh? Let's play this out. I'm going to drop here and here, and we'll attempt to dispute one of the bridges here. Kind of like a desperation, like, oh, please. You know, with a counter spell up. Definitely worthy of a counter. And it didn't get one. Dang it. They're disciplined and stuff. All right, let's go for it. Remember all that stuff I said about waiting around? We'll do this. Counter time. Crunch. Yep. played that. All right. Delver's online. Opponent has 5 cards in hand. This feels like my son's modern list. He plays a red-blue Delver list. Yeah, the counters mostly for these being like 6/6s and bigger. The original list had the trample dude in green with anything that has a counter on it has trample, but I found I never liked drawing it. Of course, it's relevant once in a while, but we got around that with just drawing another one in game 1 anyway. All right, you are Delver. But as sets go, Proliferate might end up getting there. Counters are very common in Magic, and sets come and go, and this card, like this Smell Fear, it's a pretty damn good card in this list. It's total garbage in most others. Feels pretty good in this one. One's on Consider. Yeah, this one's slipping away quickly. We need some critters. God, I think we have 24 on this list. Where's it at? What are we running? 20. Yeah. Young Wolf was in the original. Upgraded that to the Pit-Skulk for sure. Me and my evasion. Always looking. We're just drawing all of our lands now, which I'm fine with because we are running 24. What was really frustrating earlier was, not having any. Gosh, do we Pit-Skulk against a counter burn deck and then attempt to fangs it and then fear it? Just feels like losing Magic, right? Let's do a naked Pit-Skulk. We'll attempt to cave it. It does not feel good. Yeah, they got counters here. We'll do this. I guess we'll go this and this. And this. Another one. My goodness. If nothing happens here, we could always Smell Fear, because that will be better. Yeah, we're just dead here. Let's go to. Let's see. We're up against a lot of counter magic. Festercreep's probably good in the one spot. Relic. All right. Hydroblast. Red seems to really have our number. Get rid of these. I'm going to lose one Festercreep. I don't think a triple Delver draw with having our one dude show up is really going to be all that relevant here. And maybe lose a Thrummingbird. Well, let me try that. Argument could be made. Why are you playing Relics if you're not going to bring them in this matchup? Oh, this is kind of how you do it. As to your question there, Yargle. It's frustrating when people quit, especially when it's close. I really like that first Affinity player because that was close, and that's one of the heavy hitting lists out there. So fun to have that out there. All right, 2 Ironworkers. I kind of like this. I'm going to keep it. And as I play this, I'm slowly learning this too because I probably only got maybe a little over a dozen games with this in. And so I'm actually going to go like this, and then we'll just double Apprentice next turn. Got a pretty cool little quote too. I needed an extra set of hands, so I built one. Like that. Be so cool to have this in the old frame. All right, we'll have some threats out. It's probably got like cannonade style stuff going down here, but regardless. Ooh, this just got really fun. I'll just bring both these dudes out. Boop. And our Contentious Plan starting to look very savory. If we top deck like just a basic island, that would be sweet. Watch, they're just mountain electricity or something just really cruel. in the festivities, just like, suck it. No. Okay. Thank you for that. Cuts off our green, that's for sure. So, you rules people out there, the indestructible is grayed out. Does that mean it's destructible? That I don't know. I wish my son was here. He's quite the rules guru. Not the best play against us with all of our abilities to do this. How do I know he's a dude? Check him out, man. He's working with metal and stuff. All right, let's yeah, this is the Pit-Skulk. I think the Pit-Skulk's better than the Contentious Plan here. Yep, very destructible. I like that a lot. So we obviously could Contentious Plan here, but I'd rather get our Pit-Skulk online, so let's do that. I mean, we're sitting duck to a Cannonade here. Arvona, thank you for that. Yeah. I have a lot to be thankful for when it comes to Magic Online, because I used to really not quite understand a lot, and it was harder to understand back then too, but the ins and outs of the stack. And when Magic Online first came out, they had these transparent arrows that showed, you know, how things were ordered and things like that. And God, just a light bulb went off in my head. It's like, you know, having something elude you for a long time and be really foggy, and then it just clear as a bell. But a lot of those ins and outs of MTG can really throw me. All right, so we probably got a perfect counter and Smell Fear. I want to keep that open. Yeah, let's attempt to Smell Fear here. Let's do this and this, and we'll Smell Fear. We'll target this, and we'll target that, and we'll see if this works. Now we got a whole lot of targets for our Proliferate, if it works. We've got counter magic available for any shenanigans. I think that will be worthy of a counterspell. I mean, the Proliferate's going to happen regardless. Well, you know what? Now, I want the fight to actually happen. I don't want that Delver getting out, so I'll blow this up. It's just because I want to kill the Delver. It's not because I want to keep this guy, because those counters are going to go... They're going to go places. And they might have like a Spell Pierce here. So we're going to Proliferate here, 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 and here. Done. As we attack. This is becoming a big problem quickly. That's what I mean. And then these spells that look like garbage, Smell Fear and Contentious Plan, they have this cumulative effect. So by themselves, you know, nothing to write home about, but putting +1/+1 counters on everything and resetting your mana, get out of control pretty quick. So Cannonade here will make that Pit-Skulk a 7/7. I didn't even click for Proliferating the Lands. That's awesome. Yeah, Arvona. Yeah, there were a few additions I made to this list. The guy who walks alone was very ecstatic about. He's like, oh my God. I was like, yeah, that's not what we wanted to see. Darn it. One Proliferate away from that being saved. Oh well. We still got him on a pretty fast. All right. Getting slower by the minute. And a Delver. All right. Critter. A Dispute shows up. Interesting. Let's Contentious Plan. We'll just get this back. We're paying 2. We lose a counter, then we get it right back. Zoop. Proliferate. Done. Awesome. All right, cool. I mean, that's probably the best top deck I could hope for. Kenku. Whoosh. Kenku to Tide Pool. He's probably just got another Spreading Seas, I would think. But that won't work, will it? I'll just do this. Can block Kenku. Block Delver all day long. Echoing Truth, that's bad news. That goes all of our work with the Iron Apprentices, darn it. So because of that, I will probably attack with them or block with them. Dang it. My evasion is in flying and in the Pit-Skulks. That's about the best I could do. That's why I don't run young wolves and such. Okay, we'll do this. We can dispute whatever they try to echo here, so that's good times. Yeah, 6/6 would be scarier, wouldn't it? I don't really want to do it the other way around. I'm just going to attack with one of these. See if they take the... I want to get this out of Echoing Truth country. Or do we just dispute now? Yeah, I'd like to just dispute now. We'll put these on here. So we get a 6/6 land that flies. Woo! Do we get to draw cards too? It's cool with that Skerry behind. We can get out of the woods of oh, what's that spell? Spell Snare. Isn't that it? No. Ah, what is that one? Counter unless they pay 2. Attacking ends. Now if we can just get our Unexpected Fangs to hit that bridge, we'll be in good form. Now the Echoing Truth says non-land, so we're pretty safe against that. This is cool. All right. I'll put this on here. Spell Pierce. That's the one. I guess I said it right. When have you seen this, kids? 9/9. Flying indestructible. It's a lot of fun, that's for sure. Yep. Echo says non-land, and I think Spreading Seas would get around that too. Alright, I guess we'll play the Woodlot here. And I guess we'll go for green here. What is this new devilry? Oh, another flyer. More babes for the party. Not too worried about that. Do I smash in for 9 here? Kind of represents some sort of a clock here. Yeah. Oh wait. We know in their hand is an Echoing Truth. Non-land permanent. Pretty much all I got. I'd love them to return the Kenku. Come on over. Maybe I need a Felden's Cane. All right. Not what I want to be seeing now. Boy, do we have the lands. I guess I could just start piling up on this too. I'd much rather that not be so vulnerable to just bounce and such. So. Yeah, this is when that trample mechanic, this is twice now that I'm finding scenarios where it might be good to have one of those in here. I know it's from, what is that? Magic Origins, or what was the really popular set? I think Deadly Dispute came out in. Yeah, Snap would be brutal. You're right. Am I waiting around for him to draw it? Seems like they're leaning on red a bit heavier. come on. Even Proliferate's not really a good draw here. Yeah, one snap and we're dead. Always make sure to diversify your defense. That's the one. Thank you, Nim Chimpskey. Yeah, that's the card that was. He had 4 of them in it, and I just never liked seeing it. And the 2-spot curve, if you notice, is very, very heavy in this list. And yeah, I'll go over the original list after this game here. All right, I like this little Iron Apprentice showing up. Do I save him? I mean, it's not really worth a counter if he's got one. I'm just gonna try to sneak this out. You could always Echoing Truth as spell stutter. Yeah, I don't like where this game's going. It just feels like we're going to be losing the time here. We're 4 minutes down. We can't really do much. If they draw any sort of non-Echoing Truth bounce, we're dead. Looks like they're digging for it. Feels like I need more creatures. I think my initial hunch of those little replicator dudes is the right one. We're in a healthy life, but it's like we're waiting around to draw out or just submit to counters. It's frustrating with Echoing Truth and a spell stutter. Of course, it would have to do both of them, right? All right, we'll just EOT that. Oh yeah, Yargle. I make no mistake. I didn't come into the show thinking this was like the next big thing. It's just a lot of fun to play. I thought it was an inspiring list on the creative front, and that's why we're playing it. Whenever I play really hardcore established decks, views always go way down. Like everybody's kind of showing their colors of where they like me to sit, and it's usually on the frontier of, right on the border of jank and inspiration, you know. One leads to the other for sure. All right, let's make that do something. Boop. We'll go like this. We will dispute. I guess we'll dispute a treasure. Sure. Let's try that. Alrighty. Ugh. Good grief. We have got the goods, don't we? I'm going to try this. I'm going to choose this, and I'm going to blow this up and this up. If he wants to bounce it, that's great. Well, they'll just kill it. That's 3 that's not going to our head. I'm just going to do this to draw the card. Sure. Let's pull this off. Proliferate. This, and this. Is there anything our opponent? Nope. All right. So we're really going to want to have serrated arrows in this matchup. Now we're just drawing all of our lands. This is maddening. Yeah, I just think maybe 1 or 2 of those trample dudes might be in order. Or there's that other spell that's like Rancor. You can just keep bringing it back from the yard, even if it, the creature dies that falls off of. Might be a bit superior in a list like this. All right, we're going to have to start eating some critters here pretty quick. I'll get out another target if we draw into it here. Oh, Contentious Plan. I'm just doing this to draw, guys. We're just drawing so dead here. Plus, it's fun to show off all these Proliferate goodies, right? Boink. Do something. Please. Can we be relevant? We'll bring out a scale. Make them think we're fishing for a counter. Okay. That seems a very counter happy just for a scale. Guess you could argue you kind of reset the counters there, but oh boy, come on, Kenku, where are you at? Kenku sounds like a good name for a parrot. My son has a fondness for Bantu. When he first started playing Magic, I think it was the, what was that Middle Eastern set? Like, felt like Egypt. But yeah, he was always playing with Bantu cards, and then even some of the swamps he just sleeved up for me. Amonkhet, that's the one. He's always had a fondness for it. So we were like, and we've always wanted a pet pig in the family. If we ever, oh, that's a really good top deck, but we're probably walking into a counter. We know he's got one, you know what, counter, but I'm gonna try it. Board's getting a little heavy. But I've always wanted a pet pig. Not a little one, just dog size, frisbee dog size. They're so smart, and I've always been jealous of people that have pet pigs. But we were like, that'd be a good name for a pet pig, Bantu. Here we go. Make no mistake, we're going to lose this game on time, if anything. Tuskguard champion, or captain, interesting. I should have attacked there. Yeah, I think I'll start attacking next turn. Not no too big a trouble. We do have him at 11. Yeah, let's start swinging. Not with the 11 though, with the other. Ooh, that's friendly, but we know they've got a sprite, so maybe I'll use that to force a counter out. Speaking of, let's do this to this. We'll use some of these because we have so many. We got to be careful though. We're not going to be able to have black mana if we do this plan, but I think it's worth it. Speed things up since we only got 10 minutes left. 5/5. And because it's a 5/5, I think I'll attack with the 11. I can still trade with the big boys there. Start forcing blocks and turning off the irrelevancy of the Spellstutter sprite. Yeah, we lose access to black. I know we are halfway through the list and we haven't seen a single. We have a lot of black sources of mana that aren't Cave of Temptation based. Propaganda hype. Thank you, Pauper Akbar. Nice to have you aboard, my friend. Here we go. Come on, something good. Hey, speak of the devil. Woo! Could just probably smash in for everything, right? Core 5. Force him to use the dude. I'm just going to play it safe. Sprite for the block. Okay. This feels very good, even though it's taking a long time. Like I said, we'll probably lose on time, but we had a very close game against Affinity, and this is another really strong list, and it feels like we're holding our own. There's definitely some changes to be made. I think we need to really focus on lowering that curve. And the purist in me always likes, Deadly Dispute or Village Rites. It's like, well, maybe it's better to do 2 and 2. It always feels so unfinished to me. It always feels like Magic's complete at, certain other scenarios. All right, let's see if we can trade out for a Delver. We've got rid of the sprites, we think. If he's got one, he's going to play it here instead of losing the Delver. Okay, so now our Pit-Skulk will go online. And next turn will be some fireworks. We'll throw this out. If it gets a hard counter, then I'll put Fangs on something. Okay, before that even hits, I'm going to put the Fangs on, or at least attempt to. Boop. In case he's just got another one sitting there. There's our really good evasion in our Pit-Skulk. Bloodthirst. Oh, you're right. That wouldn't even had a counter. He's like, I want to kill something, darn it. I think I would have kept that Unholy Heat for my own Spellstutter Sprite when he blocks here. A lot of damage coming through. Let's see if we can get 12 life back. Or he's going to nuke his own Spellstutter Sprite here. Can we get the life? I feel so much better in the 20s. All right, we get it. It's very unlikely that he had that third Sprite. Wow. So this is a little bit of a pump by our opponent because that would have just been a dorky 1-1 with nothing. All right, so we'll pull 1-1. Festercreep, I like you. I like Serrated Arrows. Now that we know what we're up against. Fangs always got a spot in my heart. A Thrummingbird, probably not going to get through very much. I think I'm going to be off of that plan. Yeah, let's see how this feels. That's a really good point, Dreamer Stingo, and that used to be the card of choice for like Affinity before Deadly Dispute showed up. Thank you for the insight, my friend. Yeah, being blue-based would probably be a wee bit better. I wish there were some humans so I could do the old Of1 Mind Engine, but not in the cards. Right, boy. Let's go. Boop, boop. Very good hand. I think I'll get out that Iron Apprentice. It's not going to live long, but just so I can represent some damage. I don't want to walk right into a Sprite, you know. I'll just rock here. And they're going to sit back and do nothing. Which is how we timed it. Our Vault Bridge might come online just in time. Whoop! Attack! Alrighty. Yeah, it's not really worth killing these, but you do feel like you're getting a little bit more than a 1-for-1 because that counter falls off, but I think it's a wash. Some of you may die, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. All right. Do we just walk into a counterspell here, or do we wait a little bit? I can go for it. I don't think they got it. They got it. Quench. No. Nope. Bye-bye. One less counter. Sometimes I like to run right into a wall against counter spells like that. Just get them out of their damn hand. Make them tap out. There's those games where, yeah, they just keep stacking up the card advantage, and then you're like, well, now I know they have about 4 counters. At least this scenario, if I top deck another one, I might be able to wiggle out of it. Well, we have that, and we have this. I'm considering just killing our own dude here. We'll bring this out. Attack. He's only got 17 turns left. Honestly, may have one too many lands. Maybe 23 would be optimal. But the second you do that, you're going to just be like, oh my god, where are my lands? And all you do is draw Kenkus, and you need to use them to attack and defend and all these things. I don't really mind that play. Okay. Fine by me, sir. We have an opening. All right. Let's play this out. Do we play the Woodlot or the Cave? Play the Woodlot. Attack! I should have played the cave there. Forgot that our Mistvault's only going to be blue here. I was thinking we could Deadly Dispute if they have a Cannonade effect here. So a little mini punt on my part. Surprised they kept in Spreading Seas, really. Does draw a card, so... Yep. Dang it. Well, at least maybe get a Sprite out of the deal. Try to save our team. Hey, it worked. Sometimes they don't have the Sprite. Imagine that. Well, that feels pretty good. Now we got this online. We'll do this pre-combat. Yeah, let me just do this. Contentious Plan. These guys are going to quickly get relevant. I'm more after that card draw here. Proliferate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not so bad. Done. Would have been nice to have that down. All right, let's attack. This Cave of Temptation is a lot less, or is way more tempting when you have all these double mana lands out. So again, you kill it here, you still take 4. That's what's beautiful about multiple, like Servant of the Scale or Iron Apprentice. And then we run into that category of, I'll kill it first with my Deadly Dispute. As we're going to see here. Plaque. Whoosh. Me first. Okay. You become a 4/4, sir. And the same problem as last turn is this turn. Hey, cool. All right. Treasure token. Interesting. A 4/4. I would have thought. All right, I'll do it again. Boop. At least we get some cards. Maybe. Hey, cool. We haven't seen much counter magic, so I think we're safe, but we just don't have a target yet. I mean, we got the other bridge, so we'll go that route. It's a slow one, but it's the only one we got. Now they're coming in droves. All right. This and this, just because I like to show off. Got a counter spell. We got another one right behind it. Or not. Bloop. Cool. And let's use our mana now, shall we? Put it on this. Well, they might have another Spreading Seas. Let's not get too reckless there. Yeah, all right. Here we go. I got 5 minutes. Blue players ruin everything, yes. I'm reading backwards. Don't be alarmed. Thanks for joining me, everybody, on Propaganda. Almost every single Saturday throughout the year. This is where I'm at, Saturday mornings, along with my awesome friends, Saprazzan and Nim Chimpskey. Coming to you live with weird ideas. Now, so I'm going to play out the arrows here, right? And instead of killing the Delver, I'm going to do this. We will smell fear here, and to this, chomp. Now, all of our lands get reset. We'll proliferate here, 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 and here. That's a pretty good looking board, huh? Woo! All right, let's attack. Booyah! So round two was a quitter, so I can't really tell. If we win this one, it'll technically just be like 1-1. I won't count that medal game. I might have been able to, might have not. Looked like more of a not. This is when the deck starts feeling incredibly powerful, when you get that indestructible dude online and any of your blah proliferate spells start really adding up. Are we going to pull it off? We're at 20 life, feeling pretty good that way. Serpent showing up. There's another bridge. Cool. That's a bridge too far, I tell you. We'll do this, this, and this. Why not? Bloop. Just in case there's another one. I guess we could just double cave here. This is when you hope they have that. Unless they pay 2 mana. It's like, okay. Good times. Bonk. The inevitability clock is in the house. I guess we could put 4 on that, right? Does this make me have to pay 2? Let's see. I'm just doing this to do stuff. I guess we could do this, right? I'll put this on here, I guess. Bloop. So close. If that could fly, it'd be pretty awesome. But might eat Sprite here. I'm not sure. Oh, brutal. Okay. All right, so we'll play that next turn. Vapor Snag, very nice. I like having that arrows out. I got to remember to not do that cutesy trick. We'll save it for sprites so that we can actually get in and win the game here. I don't really care about these guys. I think I'll block. Keep our life total nice and healthy. Serpent took an arrow to the knee. It was worth it just for that sentence there, Jaredgel. Well said. 3 minutes to go. I better watch my butt. Boop. Here we go. Let's attack. In the air for 3. What do we have here? They're going to zap it in response. Oh, it targeted us. Interesting. Well, that's quite a bit of damage headed our way. All right. Maybe I will use the arrows again. Uh-oh. It's looking very winnable for our opponent here. I'm going to pick on the same one. Just if I do get a blocker out, I can at least minimize it and let the other one through as opposed to making them both 4/4s. So we'll try this out here. If you're wondering why. So we take 8. Crunch. It's a nail biter, folks. Creature or death. Okay. This is good news. We can kill this by ourselves, or we can cave here. Okay. I think we just cave here and then we win, right? Hooray! We did it! Together! So we got there. I'm going to go to another break here. One of my very favorite commercials, Bottle Gnome Bourbon. Bottle Gnomes aren't being used at all anymore, but they used to be a thing back in the day. So where we're sitting right now before we go to break is, I'm not sure. I just think I need more rounds with this. It's nice to have options of the Festercreep here, one of the oldest sweepers in the format. This used to be seen heavily in a lot of lists. I really like a lot of where this sits. The 2-spot is a little crammed. These sure haven't been showing up, have they? I mean, but I've had some games where they come out early and often and it's gross because they start, you drop one of these out to get them out on like turn 1 and then you just free mana forever. It's pretty awesome. So I missed something. How did the land gain flying? Oh, it just, it grants it via the Kenku, and then that naturally puts the 3 counters on it, and then the Proliferate engine goes crazy, and as we saw, these guys die, and then they just start spreading the love. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go right off to a commercial here, one of my very favorites, courtesy of my buddy Eric Berggren, who did the voiceover for it. Just it's easily my favorite commercial. I love when this time of year comes around and I can play it again because I wait months and months and months to do that. So don't worry about it. Be right back right after this.
Action, please.
We've handmade our signature bottle gnome bourbon for over 5 centuries. We use 3 different types of grains: crop rotated corn, rye with infused relics, and malted barley from Ginju fields. Only the finest radiant fountain water is used, which contains limestone that contributes to a better tasting bourbon, helping to add nutrients like Mage Mark magnesium and calcium that our newly sprout swarm yeast needs to thrive. Next, we mill our grains every upkeep and cook them using the fiery breath of kiln fiends. From there, we vapor snag mutagenic samples till we get the alcohol content exactly right. Finally, our bourbon is aged in new, fire-forged and patented trefoil oak barrels, a distinction we take pride in. As seasonal rituals change, temperatures rise and fall, and our bourbon interacts with the woodland spirits. The color and the flavor of the now fully mature bourbon comes from the caramelized Sprite sugars and the charred oak until it is ready to be untapped and bottled. Bottle Gnome Bourbon, a magically reinforced blend of the finest quality.
Available at all Singer superstores.
Back, all set and ready in the queue. Adios, Nim Chimpskey. And yeah, that's easily, I think if I had to pick my very favorite commercial we've done, it's that one. All right. Oh, so while we're here waiting, I'll show you the original list. It's quite a bit different. Had access to Force Steady Progress, or the Artificers, or 2 Serrated's main. Let's see the other. This is the, he had 4 of these, which definitely some warrant there in some sort of trample package. But Young Wolf was here, and then 2 less lands. And then the sideboard, little cutesy with Golden Urn and Deglamer and stuff like that. I mean, some relevancy here, but I mean, this is, sometimes you can get on theme with a list and you can get a little overboard, and I think that's what happened there. So, but I want to make sure I'm on the other list so I don't accidentally play that one. So yeah, we'll go like that and see what we can see. Cave of Temptation's really been MVP, boy. I've been really liking every time we draw it. It seems like it's really helping in the mana department, because let's see, we've got 7, 10 places to get black. Maybe we need one more. I'm not quite sure here, but we got plenty of coming to play tap stuff, so I'm not going to be running any things like Evolving Wilds and having a random swamp show up and things like that. So we shall see. Hey, where are the games at? Let's go. Tier 1 practice. Okay. Well, that's not us for sure. I won't bug them for that. But it's fun when you build a list like this and you end up going against some of the lists we've seen, and it actually pans out. So good times. Let's make sure everything's online and such. So I would really like to lower the curve in this a little bit. Festercreep, I think it is pretty awesome. You know, right when I think I'm going to lose it, there's games when these die and the Servant of the Scale dies, and all of a sudden, if you, like I said earlier, if you watch or follow us on our YouTube page under the community tab, we have, I think I had this up to an 8-8 last night. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, we won't play first. Let's go. Hey, it's a good hand. We'll keep. Not the fastest. And against, like, you know, like white decks, minus like Sand's Journey to Nowhere or something like that, when there's less interaction, these things can get out of control real quick. Really like to just drop a basic here so we can double Iron Apprentice. That would be pretty sweet. Was this the quitter? I have to go back in time and make sure we don't block that dude. Boop. Iron Apprentice. Okay. They're playing real cards. The synthesizer. Guy better crossroads. I think I'd rather let's put out a critter here. Really tempted a Contentious Plan here, but I'm sure the Thrummingbird will probably get killed here. Or they kill the Iron Apprentice in response to it. 24 lands, folks. Because of that, Contentious Plan was probably the play there. I'm not sure. Remember, Thrummingbird doesn't get counters, so a lot of times I like to throw the last-ditch effort of victory. I like to throw the Cave of Temptation counters on it so it can join the party. So many times I'll proliferate and I click on it and I'm like, what's wrong? And I'm like, oh, it doesn't even have it. Uncle Festercreep. That one artifact I was talking about that was in place of Servant of the Scale that you can sacrifice at instant speed to put a +1/1 counter. I do like that against, Seeker of the Way or, a 6/6 Gurmag Angler with lifelink. That's always a nice thing. Speak of the devil, here we go. Okay. Oh, this is getting monotonous, isn't it? You know what? I'm gonna go all in with this. I'll attack. He's probably gonna nuke the Thrummingbird. Where is our land? All right, Contentious Plan. Next turn for sure. Mutagenic Growth, anyone? Pow. Share the love, baby. I could see that happening like in a movie, This thing just gets blown to bits and then the bits all scramble back and just hug on to the other one. That'd be pretty sweet. Fume Sucker. That's a good one. I like it. I wish I had a way to sack this so they don't gain life, but I'm not too worried when you can get like a 10/10 indestructible flying lifelink plan engine going. It takes quite a bit of life to get us out of range. Likely to die to the clock sooner, but I think what we've learned so far today is, and I'm ready for it in games 2 and 3, is red's very good against us, picking apart all the little bits. I'll let this go. Take 3, maybe more. I think there's a good UFC fight tonight. Not a pay-per-view one, just one of the regulars. It's that Norwegian dude. I'm not quite sure. We got a few of those in the chat. -1. No, Nim just headed out. Oh boy. Our opponent has 4 land. We are stuck at 2. Given that we have 24 on the list. It's maddening, I tell you. Come on out. Monastery Swiss Spear. Where's our Festercreep now, huh? Yeah, dispute, you jerk. I'm just going to roll like this. Come on, let's go. Draw, damn you. Whoosh, whoosh. Done. Oh, come on. 24 lands. Let's get there, shall we? I like Fume Sucker. It's a good name. Doesn't match the art at all, but you can always redo art. It is like the polar opposite, you're right. Too bad you can't sacrifice it, though. And we find it just says 0. Sacrifice this. It's like, okay. No. That's a good card against us, especially for our indestructible lands. And, of course, it's not dying, so those counters go nowhere. And now we're totally naked, and we're going to lose. Lands, why? The fox is back. All right, I've seen enough. Deck's fighting us, and so's our opponent. Let's see what we draw. Thanks a lot. Okay. These come in. This is good. I'm going to lose one of these. Both of these. I'm going to get rid of one of those dudes. I want to keep our life package on board. And a Thrummingbird. Kill, kill, kill. Probably need some sort of life gain here, but I'm just going to try to be lean and mean. Let's do this, and I'm going to lose the other Thrummingbird. A lot of flyers in that list. Might not get through. Might even be better to lose the entire Thrummingbird package. Go like this and this. Let's try that. Maybe instead of the life goes on, I want that 4th dispute. It's just that, you know, we brought in a black card, so I don't want to lean too heavy on black. That's why I lost the dispute there. Yeah, I want to play first. All right. All right. This has some hope. We will keep this. It's about the right land ratio with a 7-card draw with 24. I just probably said that number 24 times now, haven't I? Probably. It's supposed to rain tonight. I'm very looking forward to that. Let's bring this dude out. I think I'm going to wait on that servant until I can play it and the apprentice at the same time, so I don't completely lose on that front of things. Now that they kind of know what we're up against or what we're trying to accomplish here. Yeah, they're sitting back on either a blast or something else. Get our mana right. Pass the turn. Yep. Next turn, we'll do the scale dance. If they weren't on red, this is a gorgeous aggressive hand with the smell feared, you know, double proliferate. It can get ugly really quick. Good here. All right, we're going to have a little window. So obviously if we play like servant and they zap it, then our Iron Apprentice is left with no help. Things got interesting. No, they didn't. I'm just going to slow roll it here. We'll drop the scale, we'll drop the iron, and we'll pass the turn and do some stuff next turn, hopefully. Again, just such a dead dog to end the festivities right here. Be cool if things died in a certain order, like they had a new left to right mechanic, right? It's like when things leave the battlefield, it goes from left to right. Unless you're in China, then it'll be top to bottom. It's kind of how it is now, I guess. There's the dude. We will fight that gladly. With what, though? Ooh, lots of options here. There's a lot of angles to obstruct here. First things first, so we will plan. Guess they don't have an instant. Done. Ooh, Festercreep. I like seeing that right now. Now we smell fear, I guess, right? It's at least going to trade. I'll get rid of this instead. Go like that. We might trade here, but again, we're still going to get in with the damage. Do they really not have a red instant? It's impossible. 6 cards early in the game. They've got to have some way to respond. Where'd my chat go? Everybody still there? Guess so. Okay. The Seeker stays alive. Proliferate. Say done on that. Yeah, we'll attack. And it's a 5/5 after all. All right, really want to see Kuldotha engine show up here. We've got plenty of black now, which is really cool, given our hand is all black. Here comes the life package. I really want to see him tap out and Kuldotha rebirth here. It's funny, I've never really used Festercreep in the last year or so for its ability. It's always just been a thrash with, because usually the Proliferate engines just starts throwing stuff on there. Yeah, we're out of range. I mean, they don't have Metalcraft either, but that feels pretty good. They'll probably zap us to the face just to not waste it, and then get 4 life back. That little Iron Apprentice, they can get really that Servant of the Scale Iron combo is deadly. That gets 1 or 2 Proliferate triggers, and all of a sudden you've got something like we're looking at. I mean, this is like the low end of the spectrum on this. Usually it's a lot more respectable when they're about 8/8. I think I lost my chat. Oh. Writing Christmas card. Okay, thank you. I just was afraid that there was something went wrong with Twitch. Good to know I was wrong. It does happen after Proliferate. That's what's cool about it. If you have even stats, you win the fight. I guess because you smell fear. I'm not sure how it works. Man, where's their little engine here? Dang it. Yeah, I guess we can get in for that. I guess we put out Festercreep. We can at least sack it to itself via the dispute here. I'm not sure if that's the way to roll here. I do know I want to Fangs this right now so I can stay in the life battle. I think I'm happy just trading blows here. If a Journey shows up, we can at least get rid of their Glinthawk or the Seeker and draw 2 cards. I want to sit on Festercreep so I can at least Deadly Dispute my Festercreep or sack it in response to a life trigger or whatnot. We'll see. If he's got a Journey, they're going to use it here. It's a very good example of why you should play lists that people send you just once or twice, because right when I saw Smell Fear, I'm like, oh god, what garbage. You have, all these color access. Why are we using that for removal? And then the second I played it, I was like, oh. I was like, this is pretty good. Thank you, Pauper Akbar. I think, yeah, Twitch has just got a big delay today, and then that and a lull in voices made me wonder, where are my friends at? Deck's feeling pretty good. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I sure like it. It's always funny. You play it all week, and then you think like, okay, well, no, it's on to the next thing. It's like, nope, I'll probably be playing this later today. It's on that level of fun. Like putting a puzzle together. Get the little bits and pieces here. Boy, if I can proliferate once with that Festercreep, I can wipe the board as long as they're tapped out. That'll kill all of their stuff. That'll be pretty cool. I don't know why they're not playing the Swift Spear first there. Oh, tough decision. Oh, I know you, Dreamer Stingo. I get it. Come on, proliferate. Could we do that? 2, we don't have enough mana. Oh, yeah, we'd have to. That thing's a mana hog too, Festercreep. Well, that helps get us there. I'm going to play it just for the threat of it. And we have a dispute right behind it. And this way I can attack. Gain 6. Feels pretty good. Problem now, though, is if a journey does show up, they still get one of our dudes, but... It's kind of neat. You can side out Kodotha when everybody brings in their sweepers or like their suffocating fumes in games 2 and 3, and then they just sit there staring at them. I mean, you can always cycle that one in particular, but... Good case of, like, you know, maybe that would just be better here than Festercreep, but... Can always use it as a basher. Getting pretty desperate for cards here, so I'm considering getting rid of one of our bridges. Darkmoss, obviously. Only reason we're here is that the Unexpected Fangs, which my bad dad joke is fond of saying, which is very expected. Because we can keep gaining so much life. I think we'll be all right. Remember, too, that's all creatures. So, I mean, it kills itself unless it's got a proliferate counter on it. But I think a lot of people read that like when I attacked last turn, like, oh, no, all my team's going to get, he's going to be able to just wipe the board. And it's like, nope, it would have hurt my guy, too. Okay. Boy, this is no joke. I think for the tempo of the turn and the game here, it might be worthy of blocking here. My God, they're just going all in, aren't they? No, I'm not going to block. What am I talking about? Come on over. Wonder why that's not attacking. I guess they just forgot. Okay. There's no way to sack stuff. They're tapped out. This feels really good. Deadly Dispute. I hate doing this, but we'll get rid of one of these. Very cool. I like that. Proliferate. Okay. That does help. A big problem here is we spend 4 mana. 2, 3, 4... to throw that on there, and we don't really have all that much interaction with that. First things first, let's get out another blocker. Got to get my life back, so let's attack. All right, so we can go 2, 3, 4, and this. I think we're kind of stuck doing this. Fangquisition. We've got Hydroblast back up. We're at 22 life. We represent a pretty good sweep here. Don't want to use that treasure token because I want to use it for a triple activation of a Festercreep there. Well, that's very strange. represents a lot of damage, but opponent's got 2 cards left. I'm fine with this. I don't know if they've read Festercreep or collect slowly and carry a big stick. I never realized that was a sword in there until my son drew that crude drawing. Oh, okay. Nice to know. I like when you have sneaky cards and it gets foiled by loud music. It's like, oh, what were those lyrics? Celestial flares in your hand? Bit for 3, I guess, right? That's 2. I can only do it. Yeah. I believe that works. We'll do this. Say okay. I just do it 3 times. I mean, when that dies, I could choose to put it on that. I'll do it one more time. Black, blue. We'll say black, blue. Well, that made the whole day worthy of good stuff, right? Whatever the hell that means. And I will not be attacking. Because we know what they have in their hand. Celestial Flare. How'd you like that board wipe? Festercreep in the house. Alright, I just want a critter. Maybe a Ginger Brute would be the top deck if I even had that in the list. Ow! Ugh. That would have been a good time to reverse punt. Attack, at least they use the flare and then they top deck that and don't have anything with it. But I guess they get something regardless. Alright. Well, the journey's down, so that's really good. If we draw... Boop, boop, boop. Let's see him use a Celestial Flare on that. Happily! That was a very costly Festercreep, but I sure think it was worth it. I mean, we got rid of, what was that, like 11 creatures? A lot of high quality critters too. Now we're in the top deck mode. Oh, I should have countered that. My finger was on the yield button. Dang it. What was I thinking? All right, I'll counter that. He's like, why didn't you counter the synth? Because I'm an idiot. Cracking the synth. Ichor Wellspring of the Old Persuasion. Very nice. Second best looking one. Schematics definitely wins. Come on, Journey. This is a grindy little list. We're 2 hours in and we still got another one to go. Okay, 1 mana showing up. That feels all right. We're at 22. We'll be all right. We just need Proliferate to show up. We haven't really seen too much. Early on, we got the Smell Fear Contentious going, and we had that ginormous Ironworker. I would just say large. Ginormous is saved for the double digits, right? Come on over, Samurai Token Man. Always remember when activating Festercreep multiple times, or Crypt Rats, or Clark-Kent Shaman, to hold that control down so you don't punch yourself into oblivion. There's another bridge. I'm not too unhappy with that. I'd much rather it be something relevant. Boy, those samurai tokens. Vigilance is such a beast when you're up against it. It doesn't seem like it's not a selling point, right? You're like, yeah, it has vigilance, all right. But in games, a lot of times you're like, man, that really meant the difference. Especially when you got like white critters and you got prismatic strands and such. Off to get some groceries, says Yargo. Good luck. And to you, sir. That's I did the old grocery shopping last night. Dropped Aaron off at the Legion store to play his modern tournament. They told him he was first, so just to wait around, and then it started without him. So he was pretty pissed off. I would be too. But please, whatever you do, play this list. It's a lot of fun. Well, we've got green in droves. I think we'll just go with pool here, right? Remember, we're going to have to double attack. Yeah, they still have flare in their hand. That really blows, so I've got to just keep this as a blocking option. Stem the bleeding. Wait for a journey, that sort of thing. Now hold on. I'm sure this happened too long ago when they revealed Celestial Flare. Is it because it was exiled, or is it in their hand? This is game-breaking decision here. Alrighty. Journey coming back? That'd be a pretty good play. I would have brought back Journey there. I mean, you're looking for Journey, trying to draw a card, and it's like, why not just grab it? I get back a 1/1. The old see the forest through the trees argument, right? There's another one. Draw a card that says draw a card. So you can draw more cards that say draw a card. Slippery slope. How does that read again? Is it attacking or blocking creature? Yeah, so I'll have to make sure to do things in twos. This will help things quite a bit, actually. I'm going to put these counters on this so I can at least trade. Four. Man, Cave of Temptation's really becoming like MVP in this list. Oh, 3/3. Do I even attack here? Sure. What mystery card do I hold? Actually, they didn't have access to white there, so I didn't have to double attack. Oh well. I got him hurt, folks. I feel like an idiot. I can't remember. Is Celestial Flare in their hand, or did they just imprison it via the synth? Seems like Snap would be good in this list too. Once our Kenku's out, we can just keep reusing it. It'd be pretty sweet. We take 4, they take 6. I like where this is headed. Where's their direct damage? There it is. I'm gonna finally use this. Where did my chapstick go? Ah, it's in my pocket. That's what pockets are for. Hiya. Let's see what we draw. Cool. That is a very good card right now. I'm not going to lie. Not telling tales out of school. Here's the one we control. And, I'm more worried about this dude, aren't I? I'll get rid of this, though. Proliferate. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Done. Yeah. Whoa. Come over for 10. And it just keeps improving. It's like fighting with mutual funds. It's like, oh, it's a little tiny thing now. And wait a few turns. Whoa, hold on. That's a lot of money. When managed, right? Those crooks of Wall Street. Foundry Helix. Oh man, wish we could divvy up those abilities, but we can't. They gain 4 life. They gain 6 life. Very, very, very relevant in a Swift Spear atmosphere. Jaredgel, sorry I didn't see you head out. Good to have you with us. Thanks for the foxes and the quick comebacks. Need more of those in my life. I think I've only seen one fox in the wild. Very, very early morning. Yes! What's better than being good at magic? Being lucky! So says I. Bonk. For the win? I guess we'll go with this. Whatever one I choose, I will regret. Yay! All right. Was that the first game? Or did we lose the first one? Gosh, I got to write stuff down better. I think that was the second game, right? Anyone? Tranquility might be good for journeys, but it's only going to get really back a land or, you know, a guy that comes back as a 1/1, so I'm going to leave it where it sits. It felt pretty good. Man, Festercreep really earned its keep there. That was pretty impressive. Life goes on. I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to bring in 1 steady progress and hope for the best. I think I'm going to wrap it up after this. I know it's only the 4th game. These games have gone really long, and I do have things to do today. I usually like to cut around the 2-hour mark, and we're over that already. So, but I hope you like the list. I sure do. I don't really want to change too much. Every time I think like, well, what about this? Then the very next game, the thing shows up, and it's good. So here's a really neat. If we top deck a basic here, we've got 3 critters on turn 2 that all help each other. So that's pretty sweet. This is a really good draw, especially if we draw into a basic. I do think I want to add maybe that 4th cave. That thing's just been such an MVP. Although it might be right where it's at, you know. Earned its creep even. Nice one, Dreamer Stingo. Taking the words right out of Nim Chimpskey's mouth. Or no, Pauper Tim. When he's in the chat, he's the resident dad joke specialist, right? Boy, if we just draw a basic here and we can untap it and go unmolested and be able to just start contentious planning and doing all kinds of other neat things, that'll be good times. Good times indeed. Or do we wait even further? Wait for 3. We won't get too carried away here. Or do... Well, I almost have to, huh? All right, we'll divvy things up. Boop, boop. Hopefully they don't have... in the festivities. Man, we just really need a basic here. A cave even. And we can... Contentious Plan, reset our woodlot get everything online. And they just pyroblast, and it's like, oh. What is the quote on this smell fear here? It's fun when they run a little. That's right. Nakuru. All right, they only have white available. This feels very good. If one of these had first strike, I'd consider blocking. Then we could kill one of them. But as it sits, we will do nothing and be sad. Alrighty. Land. Come on! Damn it. Well, I can scale. That's what I'm going to do. I'll pull this here. We'll cast scale. Now we'll proliferate. You think they got a white instant? It'd be really nice to get rid of that, but I'd much rather draw a card here. Let's do that. I'll draw a card. Proliferate. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Land. Thank you. Jeez. That's what's supposed to happen, dang it. Don't think that they would be running a breath weapon here, given the stats of their critters too. Although, makes no sense when you add in prowess, so they could very likely have it and we're still not out of the woods. Next turn, we'll be doing some stuff for mana doesn't fight us here. It seems those fangs and the ability to just kind of share the wealth. If you let this deck go unchecked for like 1.5 turns, it gets ugly really, really quick, as we've seen. I'm just glad it performed for y'all. I was a little afraid it was going to be one of those shows where I'm like, it was doing great this whole week. What happened? I think we had maybe a half a game of that. And the mana's fighting us a little bit. Makes no sense when you get screwed with a list like this, which is happening. Okay. Yeah, that's a good move. I was going to say, if you're targeting a creature, that's bad news. Opponent's hurting for red mana so far. Kind of like that. It might be worthy of bringing that fangs out pretty quickly if we keep taking this kind of damage. We're going to be in the single digits here real quick. And with the lightning helix? No, that's the modern card. Foundry helix, right? No. What's that one that does 4 that everybody's playing now? Gains life. We are already in single digits. But we can hit for half their life here. They played another red source. That's scary. Okay. That's interesting. I believe we're going to smell fear onto the Seeker, stop their life from getting out of control, especially now that they're tapped out. Good times. I love it. Let's slow down here a little bit. That's the best plan. Yeah, we hit a land, so it makes sense to smell fear. I guess we'll do this. This creature. This creature. Proliferate. Okay. Done. Attack. Shall we? Attack with everything? It's 9. Crack back, we could die. Let's attack with... I'll encourage... We'll go like this. Keep a blocker back for a Swift Spear. They take 6. We'll get the fangs online next turn, more than likely. We're still not out of, Galvanic Blast for sure, but bolt range. I think those are going to be aimed to our heads, but the fangs will change that math real quick. I think this is game 3. Yeah, it has to be. He's at 5 minutes. I just didn't write down that we lost the first one. We've lost almost every game 1 and won almost every game 2. What does that tell you? Our sideboard, and we're going up against all red decks today, so that makes a difference. Okay. Come on, life. Come on. Should not be hurting this much for lands. I know we pitched one. This is pretty ridiculous. Oh, you know what? That was a punt move, wasn't it? No, no, no. Did I use the Woodlot? No, that should have 3 counters on it. That was a bit of a punt there. Alrighty. Well, I like this. Let's, God, I really want to get that. I really wish they were tapped out. This is frustrating. Alright. So let's contentious plan here. Making sure to do things correctly. Maybe we'll get some action here. Boom, 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 boom. Done. That's cool. Wish I had that out. You could argue, you know, you put the fangs on there and then it gets yet another counter, but I'll keep a dude back. Let's go in for 8 here. Just not sure. They got 2 cards. I'm going to go for it. I'll rather this die. You got Galvanic Blast or not? Because I don't want it pointed at my head. That's my logic there. They don't always have it. They usually do. They got it. They still take 8 though. And we prevent half death here, so that's good times. Boop. Sure wish that happened prior, and then we could have, you know, attacked for a 9/9 lifelink. That would have been sweet. Crunch. Nothing to sneeze at. Kill one, all the stats go to the other. Or as a combat trick, you know, you come in for both, they block the one, you sack the other. It's kind of like a Mog Raiders and Mog Sledder mentality. Be sweet if we can pull this win off. Have our only loss really to Affinity. And that was a close one. Right? Yeah. Come on over. Oh, he's got the sacrifice an attacker or blocker card, which I'm fine with. We'll have an 8/8. I mean a 12/12. Rather lose it on defense. Yep. Boy, do I know a thing or two about this Pauper thing, huh? Wonk. Check this out. Take a screen grab, baby. Somebody's growing up. Woo! Now I need that damn trample, right? All right, we are looking for something good. That ain't it. I'd rather have the bridge. Doing the math. Black to the blue. Let's sacrifice here. We really need the... oh, we could do that. Oh, so many options here. Hold on. Play that. Black. Nope. Not even that. No, it's this one. Black, green, hup. Drawn here. Oh, why can't that be a red permanent just for the win, right? All right. Let's attack here. Okay. That's a goner. We could save the Swift Spear. Kill. They might have something pointed at our head. That'll add up. A foundry thingy might be worthy of a Hydroblast more than the permanent. It'll tell us a lot how they attack here too. So I think it's better to keep back because we get a little free info if that Monastery Swift Spear attacks or doesn't. Kind of lets us know what's in their hand. Deduction. Sherlock Holmes would really like Magic the Gathering, wouldn't he? I think I should win an award for being able to talk this long to nothing. I try to keep it lively. It's not always the best, but better than most. Yo, I don't want that many blockers ever. That's 4. I got to counter this. Too many critters. Too many turns. Going to be at 3. Any spell kills us. Why'd they float a mana? Bring back the crossroads, you coward. Aha! I'm sure it's just a good play. Like bad-mouthing good plays. I dare you to gain life now that you're low. What are you afraid? It's called strategy. That's a very wise attack. After having seen Hydroblast. I think a lot of people might have missed that. They might miss this too. Whoa! Blue. Quit trying to mess with me, Kenku. I saw you trying to make me click wrong. Smack! Yeah, a few turns away. All right. Don't think that Swift Spear is coming anywhere near here. It's quite the monologue. Oh, quite a monologue. Speaking of Holmes, I recently saw an artful cartoon named Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century. Yeah, well, gosh, the BBC did that Sherlock show, what was that, like 7 years back on? Man, that was good. But I guess those two actors, Cumberbatch and whatever the other dude's name was, they hated each other. That was, I guess, a brutal set to be on. Let's represent. Hey, all right. We got there. It's a slog, but it won a lot. We lost a close one to Affinity, and then it was all downhill, and I mean up. Yeah, downhill. You know, we ran over people. I wouldn't say run over. We eked out victories. Like I said, don't be taking this to any leagues just because I did well here, because it's definitely not worthy, but it's something, one of those decks to just keep in your collection, keep on the radar, because as Magic grows, you're going to keep getting a lot of these, you know, creatures get +1, this little thing, and then the sum of the parts, and before you know it, these bad cards, like we saw today, actually do a lot. By itself, it sucks. You got 3 permanents out, all of a sudden this feels incredibly overpowered for Pauper. So we'll go over the list here. Got a lot of indestructible lands. I think I'm going to keep the lands where they're at. This was such an MVP today. Just did excellent. Loved every time I drew it. We had, you know, one return to sender on it, but yeah, I think it has potential too, Shiraz. It's just, you know, it's that category of decks. If you're feeling in the dumps and you know, I'm tired of these lists, you know, you play this, and that's what people come to this show for usually, right? So we got 3 of these: 4 bridges, 2 forests, 3 woodlots, 3 islands, 3 bridges, 3 skerries, and 4 Tanglepools. Our little double duo in the Servant of the Scale and Iron Apprentice. Again, this was courtesy of one of our fans and friends, a guy who walks alone, longtime Pauper, and sent us a list similar to this that we went over a little while ago. And had that not happened, we wouldn't have this cool brew to show you today. But I was arguing that I didn't like the scale. It didn't seem too relevant, and I was definitely wrong on that. At the last minute last night, I was like, you know what, his emails back and forth, he was explaining why, and I was like, okay, and then I saw it in action. I'm like, that's true, and we saw it today. Skarrgan Pit-Skulk usually is awesome. We didn't really see him show up too much in relevance today, but, you know, you get this guy to like a 7/7 naturally with, you know, Proliferate. It's a lot of fun. Good luck blocking that, right? This can help with the +1/1 counters. I really like the 2 spot here. The Force Mail Sphere. We've got the 1 board sweeper here that we saw do a whole lot of work in that last matchup, taking out like 2 Skyfishers, 2 Glinthawks, 2 Seekers, and a couple Samurais. We got 4 Deadly Disputes. Again, I don't know if the chat ever rang in on this. This could easily be Village Rites. I think I might want to make it Village Rites because the curve would look a whole lot more slanted the way I like it had that come up. But in defense of that, this is a come into play tap heavy scenario, so our 2 spots are really like our 1 spot. If you can follow that logic. Thrummingbird didn't really show up too hard today, but again, and this is immediately I wanted to cut this card, and I played the very first game with it, and I got one of these. I think it was Scary Thrummingbird, something like Plan Go, and it was like, whoa! All of a sudden, I was not drawing a lot. I was generating a whole lot of goods out of it. So I think this is a necessary evil for now. What am I trying to say? I'm not going to change a thing about this right now. I'm going to keep the list as is. You could probably go with, not probably, maybe you should go with Weather the Storm. I don't really like waiting around, and I like to maximize the mana on my turn. So sitting around with open mana is my reasoning for going with Life Goes On there. So yeah, Dreamer Stingo, that's a really good point. Perilous Research, given the mana base especially, would probably be the best call. But boy, those tokens sure came into play today. There was some maxed out turns where, you know, we just had enough because of that treasure token. So and then, you know, you also run the risk, we're a blue-based deck and they're going to have Hydroblasts, and we're already, Pyroblasts, and we're already kind of slanted towards having a bit of a 2-1 victory against a lot of red-based decks. And so I don't know if we really want to give them more ammo for that. I'm not quite sure, but feel free to mix and match. Send us your results, popagain@gmail.com. Yep. Thanks for streaming, and thank you for watching, Dreamer Stingo. I really, Howl of the Wolf, Howl of the Hunger Pack, I think is what you're meaning, or whatever that +3/3 card. I messed around with that too. Like I said, Cloudfin Raptor, the new Gitaxian Infiltrator, the Mold Folk, all these things were tried. It was a long week, but I had a lot of fun. And thanks again to, Guy Who Walks Alone for the list. And again, if you're inspired and you have something, I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to play it, but if it's an inspirational brew and it sparks my interest, then it might show up here. And if not, have fun with it yourself. Send me the results. I'll see you guys next week, same time, all that good stuff. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Propaganda. Adios.